The Bills are 1-1, the Falcons are 2-0, and in Super Bowls they're a combined 0-6. Atlanta might have blown a 28-3 lead, but the Bills lost 4 consecutive Super Bowls, and that sound you're hearing is 2 miserable fan bases crying their eyes out. Bills opening drive, and Josh Allen drops back to pass, has plenty of time but nowhere to throw, and that protection runs out as Grady Jarrett picks up his 3rd sack in as many games and forces a Buffalo punt. After exchanging possessions, Falcons in Bills territory, where Ray Gilbert fires a trick shot to Austin Traylor for 12 yards on a 1st down. Then 2 plays later, it's a give to Devontae Freeman, who has a lane and picks up 14 more and another 1st down. And with 3rd down from the 2, Gilbert fires high and off the crossbar, incomplete. Atlanta sends out Roland Ford, who ties the NFL record for most consecutive made field goals, giving the Falcons a 3-0 lead. First play of the ensuing drive, and it's a counter to Kareem Hunt, who runs through 1 tackle, gets a block, and is suddenly into the clear. 2 Falcons come up empty trying to untie his shoes. He breaks 1 more tackle, and it's a 75-yard touchdown run as it takes all of 1 play for the Bills to take the lead. Later in the first, same score, and Gilbert play fakes, rolls to his right, and floats a pass to a wide-open McCole Hardman, who stays in bounds for a 26-yard catch. Then 2 plays later, Gilbert throwing again, but holds on too long, and Yannick Ngakoue is in to drop him for the sack. And on 3rd and 17, Gilbert throwing and goes quick to Julio Jones for 12 yards, getting Atlanta back into field goal range. Out comes Roland Ford, and he makes it 45 for 45 to start his career and a new NFL record, as Atlanta now trails 7-6. First play of the ensuing drive, and Allen fakes the give, loads up, and launches a bomb deep downfield. DeMonte Casey in coverage, and he tries to tackle Tyreek Hill. Flag comes out, and it's a 57-yard pass interference. Next play, Allen with the fake again and looking to throw, but is drilled by Sean Pearson, and the rookie 5th rounder gets his 1st career sack, dropping Allen for a 6-yard loss. Then on 3rd and 19, Allen throwing again, and he's going to get great protection this time, but nobody's open, and he eventually fires deep and off the mark out of the end zone. And on 4th down, it's Stephen Gostkowski connecting on a 44-yard field goal to put 3 more on the board for Buffalo and extend their lead to 10-6. First play of the ensuing drive, and Devontae Freeman cuts back and has 15 yards on a 1st down near midfield. Then 2 plays later, Gilbert throwing and goes to Casey Rivers over the middle for 14 yards to move the chains again. And with 2nd and 3, Gilbert's throwing, moves to his right, has Julio Jones for the 1st down and make it a touchdown as he breaks the tackle and outraces the Bills defense to the end zone for a 33-yard score. And the Falcons are back out in front as they take a 13-10 lead. Atlanta gets it right back, and facing 3rd and 17, Gilbert's throwing, steps up and out of the pocket to his left before firing a cross-body strike to Austin Hooper for a 42-yard gain. 2 plays later, 2nd and 11, Gilbert fakes and looks to throw, moving to his right before being chased down by Yannick Ngakoue for his 2nd sack today. And on 3rd and 20, it's Gilbert going short to Casey Rivers, who gets 7 yards but is well shy of the marker. Roland Ford comes out and makes it 3 for 3 today, knocking through the 45-yarder and giving the Falcons a 16-10 first half lead. Ensuing drive, and Buffalo crosses midfield as Allen fakes, rolls to his right, and fires a 31-yard dart to Tyreek Hill. And with 3rd and 6, Allen throws quick and off the mark with the blitz in his face. Stephen Gostkowski comes on, and it's a 50-yarder that splits the uprights this time as the Bills cut the Falcons' lead back to 3. Atlanta looking to answer before half, and their first play is an 11-yard carry by Devontae Freeman to move the chains. Then facing 3rd and 7, it's Gilbert to Casey Rivers for 8 yards and just barely enough for a 1st down across midfield. After another 1st down, it's 3rd and 7, where Gilbert wants Kyle Woods, but it's well off the mark and incomplete. And one more time, it's Roland Ford nailing a 51-yard field goal for his 4th make of the half and a 19-13 halftime lead for Atlanta. First play of the 3rd quarter, and Gilbert looks to throw, gets a great block by Devontae Freeman, and takes off, sliding down after 15 yards and a 1st down to start the drive. 3 plays later, 3rd and 1, and Casey Rivers looks like Mark Sanchez minus the fumble as he comes up short. But fear not, Falcons fans, as 4th and inches turns into 1st and exterminated with a Jordan Buggs 6-yard carry. Then facing 3rd down again, Gilbert throwing, stands in and goes to Kyle Woods, who hangs on to the 20-yard catch to convert. 2 plays later, Gilbert with the fake and completely panics, floating a pass off his back foot to Austin Hooper, and Trevor Williams skies up to pick it off. Buffalo takes over over inside the 5 as the interception ends the drive and keeps Atlanta points off the board. But the Bills' drive would also go nowhere as on 3rd and 11, Allen looks to throw, moves to his right, but is tracked down by Sean Chamberlain, and the rookie first-rounder ends the Bills' drive with an 8-yard loss on his first career sack. So Atlanta takes over, and it takes one play to cross midfield as Gilbert hits McCole Hardman for an 18-yard gain. 3 plays later, 3rd and 3, and the drive stays alive as Gilbert finds Austin Hooper for 4 yards to convert. And 3 plays later, once again 3rd and 3, where Gilbert has Kyle Woods for 14 yards down inside the 10 to make it 1st and goal. Then facing 3rd down one more time, Gilbert throwing, steps up in the pocket and decides to take off and is into the end zone, but there's yellow on the screen, which means it's coming back. And with 3rd and goal from the 20, Gilbert fires a dangerous pass that should have been intercepted, but instead it's Roland Ford who gets to come out and put through a 37-yarder for his 5th field goal today and a 22-13 Falcons lead. Bills turn now, and with Kareem Hunt injured, it's Derrick Henry up the middle for the 1st down and into Atlanta territory for a 16-yard gain. Then 3 plays later, and to start the 4th quarter, it's Allen with the fake, standing in and finds Dylan Cantrell deep down the middle for a 34-yard touchdown, and the Bills answer right back with a score that cuts the Falcons lead to 2. Atlanta looking to extend the lead, and to start the drive, it's an RPO to Julio Jones for 14 yards and a 1st down. Next play, and the give goes to Devontae Freeman, who jukes inside and stumbles his way to another 13 yards across midfield. Then 2 plays later, Gilbert fakes, stands in, and fires deep where Calvin Ridley warps into position to make a 35-yard catch to set up 1st and goal. And with 3rd and goal, Gilbert throwing, has A wide open as he moves to his right, but is going backwards and just chucks it away incomplete. So Atlanta has to settle for a 6th Roland Ford field goal of the day as they extend their 4th quarter lead to 5. Bills go 3 and out, and Atlanta is right back into Buffalo territory as Casey Rivers picks up 9 in the 1st down. 3 plays later, 3rd and 11, where Gilbert stands in and completes to Julio Jones right over the head of Tremaine Edmonds for 17 yards to convert. Then with 3rd and inches, it's the exterminator Jordan Buggs right up the middle for 10 more and another 1st down. Next play, Gilbert drops the throw and has McCole Hardman for the 1st down, but not the touchdown as he makes it 1st and goal. And on the next play, it's Devontae Freeman stuffed behind the line for a loss of 3. Then on the following play, it's Casey Rivers with nowhere to go as he's tackled for a 2-yard loss. So make it 3rd and goal, where Gilbert's throwing, stands in and fires to Kyle Woods, who's open but can't hang on. And for the 7th time today, it's a Roland Ford field goal as Atlanta takes an 8-point lead with just under 4 minutes to go. Bills looking to tie, but on 3rd and 4, Allen is well wide of his target and incomplete. And with the 2-minute warning and all 3 timeouts, the Bills choose to punt it away. And out of the 2-minute warning, it's Casey Rivers picking up 6 yards, but he remains down on the ground, writhing in pain, so it's Atlanta stopping the clock with the injury. Casey Rivers heads to the locker room, and Buffalo still has all 3 timeouts. So 3rd and 3 now, where Gilbert's throwing and has Kyle Woods for a huge 1st down gain of 9. Then on the following play, it's a give to Devontae Freeman, who's brought down for no gain, but now he's injured on the play, so the clock stops again. Freeman makes it to the bench, but not before saving Buffalo another timeout. So Ito Smith comes in, and he has a 6-yard gain off the left side to make it 3rd and 4, where Gilbert drops the throw, stands in, and goes right back to Ito Smith for a game-ending 1st down. And the Falcons survive after scoring 8 times, but only once by way of the end zone as they kick 7 field goals and give Buffalo nearly unlimited timeouts at the end of the game. The Falcons offense spends 44 and a half minutes on the field as they move to 3-0 and will take their perfect record on the road next week to face the Eagles. All right, guys, so a really odd game there, probably to watch, but then most certainly to play as well. It was only an 8-point game, but it never really felt like I was in much danger of losing. They only had 5 first downs, and it felt like I played offense the entire game. And had I been able to convert field goals to touchdowns, it would have been a complete blowout. But as a result of that game, Sean Chamberlain, our rookie first rounder, received a breakout scenario, which is huge as he only has normal dev. And heading into our next game against the Eagles, I need to hold them to either less than 250 50 total yards, or get Chamberlain an interception, forced fumble, tackle for loss, or sack. So hopefully we'll be able to do that to get his dev up to star. And with week 3 comes team activities, where we start with negotiations, and first up is wide receiver Calvin Ridley, who was re-signed on a 3-year, $29 million deal, and it appears for the first time of this franchise, cap room won't really be an issue, as even with this signing, we still have around $40 million available. But this keeps our core offensive weapons together moving forward, which should continue to help the development of Ray Gilbert. Next up was Ito Smith, who rejected a 4-year contract worth $13.5 million with a $3.72 million bonus, stating that he'd like a better bonus. The thought here is that with Devontae Freeman regressing and making a decent chunk of change, he's going to be gone next year, so Smith would become a much cheaper starter without too much of a drop-off in quality, and then Casey Rivers would keep his current role as the receiving and third down type back. Week 3 also comes with scouting and draft stories, and we do have one draft story this week regarding running back Silas Walden, who has gone from the dojo to the gridiron, taking his talents as a martial artist and moving on to the football field to play running back at Illinois. So looking at our draft board, we have the Karate Kid Silas Walden at the top, followed by 3 cornerbacks, as that's going to be a major priority this offseason. And added to the board was Jaden Dorsett out of Rutgers and Jalen McDougal from Penn State, both of which are first-round projections and first-round true talent. Then lastly is Lee Foreman out of Oklahoma State, who is a second-round projection but is also a first-round true talent. Then wrapping up the team activities this week is player upgrades, where 3 players had skill points, starting with rookie wide receiver Kyle Woods, who goes up to a 74 overall with a 2-point increase to his catch in traffic and 1-point increases to his awareness, catch, and short route running. Next up was safety Donovan Culver, who reaches a nice rating of 69 overall, as he gets 1-point increases to his man coverage, press, speed, tackle, and zone coverage ratings. Then lastly is cornerback Ryan Neal, who goes up to a 65 overall after getting 1 point towards his awareness and 2 points towards both his play rec and zone coverage. And that wraps up the team side of things, and as we go around the league, we start as always with this week's scores, where the Steelers win 31-24 on Thursday night. Vikings win a shootout in Baltimore, while the Cowboys, Giants, and Patriots all score 28 points in victories. Packers hammer the Lions, Beats take down the Raiders, and the Browns edge the Broncos. Rams and Cardinals both put up 38 points in wins, while the Dolphins win 26-16 against the Bucks. Saints win 35-20 in Seattle. Jags beat the Jets, and the Chiefs get some AFC Championship revenge, beating the Bengals 31-28 on Sunday night. Then wrapping up the week, the Texans win 31-26 over the Titans on Monday night. Taking a look at the standings here, it's a 3-way tie in the AFC East, as the Jets, Patriots, and Dolphins are all 2-1, with the Bills a game back at 1-2. Browns and Steelers are both 2-1 and currently leading the North, while the Bengals and Ravens sit behind, tied for last at 1-2. Same thing in the South, as the top 2 teams in the Texans and Jaguars hold 2-1 records, while the bottom 2 in the Titans and Colts are both 1-2. Then out west, Matt Ryan and the Beats are the AFC's lone undefeated team, with the 2-1 Chiefs and Broncos a game back, and the 1-2 Raiders 2 games back. And on the NFC side, the East sees the Giants and Cowboys tied for first place with 2-1 records, while the Eagles and Redskins are both winless at 0-3. In the North, the Vikings currently lead the way with a 2-1 record, a game up on the 1-2 Packers, while the winless Bears and Lions bring up the rear. We move to 3-0 and continue to lead the South, while 2 straight wins has the Saints a game back at 2-1, with the Panthers a game behind them at 1-2. Bucks alone in last place at 0-3. Then the NFC West has the Cardinals at 3-0 after 3 weeks, with a 1-game lead over the 2-1 Rams and 49ers, with the Seahawks in last place at 1-2. For the second time in 3 weeks, Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Watson was 25 of 30 for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns, while adding another score on the ground. Watson took home the Week 1 award after a 35-14 win over the Titans, and does the same this week after a 31-26 win against Tennessee as well. On the NFC side, it's also the same Offensive Player of the Week from Week 1, with the Giants running back Saquon Barkley winning the award. Barkley racked up 219 yards rushing and 4 rushing touchdowns on just 20 carries to lead the Giants to a 28-20 win over Washington. Defensively for the AFC, the Player of the Week award goes to Tyquan Lewis of the Colts. The 2018 second-rounder from Ohio State made 10 tackles, with 1 going for a loss, and also had a sack, but came up short of victory as the Colts lost 31-24 to the Steelers on Thursday night. Then for the NFC, Rams linebacker Micah Kiser was awarded Defensive Player of the Week. The 4th-year Virginia product made 8 tackles, with 1 going for a loss, and took down 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo twice as the Rams went on the road and beat the 49ers 38-24 this week. Moving on to the league leaders, it's our own Ray Gilbert leading all passers with 926 yards through the air. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes leads the way with 9 passing touchdowns, and Andrew Luck's 127.3 passer rating is good for tops in the league. On to the rushers, it's right back to a Saquon Barkley jackpot as he leads in rushing yards with 495, rushing touchdowns with 6, and returns to double-digit yards per carry, averaging 10.3 yards every time he carries the rock. The receiving leaders start with Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin, whose 23 catches are the most in the league. Panthers receiver DJ Moore stays atop the receiving yards leaders with 330, and Brooklyn beats tight end Ricky Seals-Jones returns to the top of the touchdown receptions leaders with 5 scores on the year. Wrapping up with the defensive leaders, it's Tremaine Edmonds and his 35 tackles leading the way. Justin Houston adds another 2 sacks this week, extending his league best total to 6, and then getting top billing this week on the interceptions leaders is 49ers linebacker Quan Alexander. And looking forward to next week's schedule, it's the Chiefs in prime time again, heading to Oakland to face the Raiders on Thursday night. We head on the road for our first meeting with the Eagles since the Season 1 playoff loss. Ravens face the Lions in Detroit, and the Saints play host to the Cowboys. Redskins at Buccaneers as both teams look for their first wins. Texans head to the Big Apple to face the Jets. Dolphins at Panthers, and the Steelers and Browns play for early possession of first place in the AFC North. Jaguars head to Santa Clara to face the 2-1 49ers. Bengals at 1-2 are in a post-Super Bowl slump and face the Broncos in Denver. Rams at Cardinals in a big early season NFC West game, and the 0-3 Bears look for their first win in Minnesota against the 2-1 Vikings. Then on Sunday night, it's the 1-2 Packers at the 1-2 Seahawks, and on Monday night, it's an old rivalry renewed as the 2-1 Patriots go on the road to face the 1-2 Colts. Beats Bills, Giants, and Titans with the first bye weeks of the year. But that's going to do it, and 3 weeks, 3 wins, and next week we look for some long-term revenge, as I just mentioned that we face the Eagles for the first time since our crushing Season 1 playoff loss. They're currently 0-3 and will be without Fletcher Cox, but still have Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz, and Defensive Rookie of the Year Dwayne McBath. So a big game and a chance to move to 4-0 on the year, so make sure you come back to see what happens, or else you might be sitting at home when all of a sudden a bird comes out of nowhere and attacks like...